How did Solomon dedicate the temple to the Lord and bless the people to his service? Who does the temple ultimately picture? Let's begin in 1 Kings chapter 8. How did Solomon bring the sacred box containing the engraved stones of the covenant, the 10 Commandments, into the temple? Then Solomon assembled the elders of Israel and all the heads of the tribes, the leaders of the fathers' houses of the people of Israel, before King Solomon in Jerusalem, to bring up the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of the city of David, which is Zion. And all the men of Israel assembled to King Solomon at the feast in the month of Ethanim, which is the 7th month. And all the elders of Israel came, and the priests took up the ark. And they brought up the ark of the Lord, the tent of meeting, and all the holy vessels that were in the tent. The priests and the Levites brought them up. And King Solomon and all the congregation of Israel, who had assembled before him, were with him before the ark, sacrificing so many sheep and oxen that they couldn't be counted or numbered. Then the priests brought the ark of the covenant of the Lord to its place in the inner sanctuary of the house, in the most holy place, underneath the wings of the cherubim. For the cherubim spread out their wings over the place of the ark, so that the cherubim overshadowed the ark and its poles. And the poles were so long that the ends of the poles were seen from the holy place before the inner sanctuary. But they couldn't be seen from outside, and they're there to this day. There was nothing in the ark except the 2 tablets of stone that Moses put there at Horeb, where the Lord made a covenant with the people of Israel when they came out of the land of Egypt. And when the priests came out of the holy place, a cloud filled the house of the Lord, so that the priests couldn't stand to minister because of the cloud, for the glory of the Lord filled the house of the Lord. Did Solomon then give a special blessing of the entire congregation that was there? Then Solomon said, "The Lord said that he would dwell in thick darkness. I've indeed built an exalted temple for you, a place for your dwelling forever." The king turned around and blessed the entire congregation of Israel while they were standing. He said, "May the Lord God of Israel be praised. He spoke directly to my father David, and he's fulfilled the promise by his power. He said, since the day I brought my people Israel out of Egypt, I've not chosen a city to build a temple in among any of the tribes of Israel, so that my name would be there. But I have chosen David to rule my people Israel. It was in the desire of my father David to build a temple for the name of Yahweh, the God of Israel. But the Lord said to my father David, since it was your desire to build a temple for my name, you've done well to have this desire, yet you're not the one to build it. Instead, your son, your own offspring, will build it for my name. The Lord has fulfilled what he promised. I've taken the place of my father David, and I sit on the throne of Israel, as the Lord promised. I've built the temple for the name of Yahweh, the God of Israel. I've provided a place there for the ark, where the Lord's covenant is that he made with our ancestors when he brought them out of the land of Egypt. What did Solomon say to God in his prayer of dedication about his promise to David? Then Solomon took his place in front of the Lord's altar, in the presence of the entire congregation of Israel, spread out his hands toward heaven, and said, Lord God of Israel, there's none like you, God in heaven above, or on the earth below, who watches over his covenant, showing gracious love to your servants who live their lives in your presence with all their hearts. It's you, Lord God, who have kept your promise to my father, your servant David, that you made to him. Indeed, you made a commitment to my father David, and then personally fulfilled what you had promised today. Now therefore, Lord God of Israel, keep your promise that you made to my father, your servant David, when you said, you'll not lack a man to sit on the throne of Israel, if only your descendants will watch their lives, to live in my presence, just as you've lived in my presence. Now therefore, God of Israel, May your promise that you made to your servant David, my father, be fulfilled. And yet will God truly reside on earth. Look, neither the sky nor the highest heaven can contain you. How much less this temple that I've built? Pay attention to the prayer of your servant and to his request, Lord my God, and listen to the cry and prayer that your servant is praying in your presence today. Let your eyes always look toward this temple, night and day, toward the location where you've said, my name will reside there. Listen to the prayer that your servant prays in this direction. Listen to the requests from your servant and from your people Israel as they pray in this direction. Listen from the place where you reside in heaven. Then hear and forgive. What did Solomon say to God in his prayer of dedication about punishment for sin? If any man trespass against his neighbor, and an oath be laid upon him to cause him to swear, and the oath come before your altar in this house, then hear you in heaven, and do and judge your servants, condemning the wicked to bring his way upon his head, and justifying the righteous to give him according to his righteousness. When your people Israel be smitten down before the enemy, because they've sinned against you, and shall turn again to you, and confess your name and pray, and make supplication to you in this house, then hear you in heaven, and forgive the sin of your people Israel, and bring them again to the land which you gave to their fathers. When heaven's shut up and there's no rain, because they've sinned against you, if they pray toward this place, and confess your name, and turn from their sin, when you afflict them, then hear you in heaven, and forgive the sin of your servants, and of your people Israel, that you teach them the good way wherein they should walk, and give rain upon your land, which you have given to your people for an inheritance. If there be in the land famine, if there be pestilence, blasting, mildew, locust, or if there be caterpillar, if their enemy besiege them in the land of their cities, whatsoever plague, whatsoever sickness there be, what prayer and supplication soever be made by any man, or by all your people Israel, which shall know every man the plague of his own heart, and spread forth his hands toward this house, then hear you in heaven, your dwelling place, and forgive, and do, and give to every man according to his ways, whose heart you know. For you, even you only, know the hearts of all the children of men, that they may fear you all the days that they live in the land which you gave to our fathers. How did Solomon dedicate the temple to the Lord and bless the people to his service? Who does the temple ultimately picture? You decide.